Welcome to Soul Infused Monday. Today with episode number 203 with the topic erase these two words from your vocabulary and you will feel more powerful instantly. For this particular episode, I encourage you and I recommend you taking notes. I'm not only going to share those two words that are actually disempowering you, I'm also going to give you substitutes and alternatives that you want to write down. So if you want to take a moment right now to grab a pen and a paper, to take a nice deep breath, to become fully present in this moment here right now, do this now. And if you are on a place where you can leave a comment, please leave me a comment, say hello. And if you are listening this an Insight Timer, for example, leave me a review or leave me a message because I always love to hear from you. And give me a quick heads up if you see and hear me. Do you see and hear me clearly? That would be great to know. And then I dive right in. There's always a little bit of a delay. So if you actually hear me, leave me a comment right now, say hello, and give me a thumbs up. Okay? Because internet has been a bit iffy today. So I am wanting to make sure that you actually hear what I have to say. Okay? I don't see any comments, so I will just record it anyway. And worst comes to worst, you will listen to the replay. So, welcome to the Soul Infused Monday show. Thank you for being here every week, showing up every week, taking the time to learn, grow, and listen, and to connect with like-minded people. It always means the world to me. So, I have taken some notes myself because I want to make sure that I keep it crisp, and I'm only a little bit distracted because I want to make sure that I'm actually live because there were some issues today and I want to make sure I'm live on this call and you can hear and see me. So, okay, Kathleen, good morning. Good morning, Linda. So I assume you guys see and hear me. Then I'm going to officially start this again. Welcome to the Soul Infused Monday show. Today, number 203 with the topic erase these two words from your vocabulary and you will feel more powerful instantly. So take a pen and a paper, take notes, and let's get this going. And I want to say one thing, especially if you've been on the path for a while and you might be already aware of the conscious use of language. If you've followed me for a while, you know I talk about this a lot. Now, whether you are familiar with the conscious use of words, the words of energy, energy as words, if you've listened to this before, whether you've heard this before or not, I invite you to really listen in because repetition is key. Repetition is super important and you always learn something new. Because the person that you are right now, you here listening in right now, is not the same person than yesterday. And it's also not the same person in consciousness than when you maybe heard this before. Now, even though this is not the topic for today, the whole phrase, but I already invite you to erase another phrase from your vocabulary, and that is, oh, I know this already. If you hear yourself saying that, just whoop, restart fresh, because again, You are always in a different state of mind, in a different state of being. And the more repetition you let into your system, the more you're going to master certain things and certain skills. Also, the conscious use of language. Okay, and I am going to share two of two words because they're interchangeable, and interestingly enough, they are used very, very often. The reason why I'm doing this again today, because I've taught this or spoke about this in the past, but even only recently in the last few weeks, I've heard this so many times that I knew it's time for a refresher. It's time to bring this on the table again. And in particular, the last few weeks, I offered my group tapping healing session through personal invitation. So I was reaching out to certain people that I wanted to share this with through messages, through calls, and the women that I addressed. There were two in particular that just stood out for me because they were in the beginning when it happened twice in a row that I thought, okay, I get to talk about this again. Let me remember. Now, I asked them if they would like to join without attachment, very loving, caring. I'm thinking of you. Would you like to join? I was not attached for them to join or not. It's an offering. Now, the response I got was, oh, I would love to, but I can't. And or I would love to, but I am unable to join. So then I took the time to give them a little coaching for free just because I wanted them to feel more empowered. Because, and you might have already guessed, these are the two words. Write them down for a moment. The first phrase is, I can't. And hang in there with me. I will give you substitutes and alternatives and reasons why energetically that is very disempowering and how you can be more powerful instantly. So I can't and or I am unable. Because funny enough, I was saying to the first person, what if you don't use I can't and you use a different phrase? And then she wrote, that makes sense. Instead of using I can't, oh, I am unable. It's like, it's the same because you are able. You are not unable. Does that make sense? From an energetical perspective, when you use the words I can't or I am unable, you first kind of close the door. That's just like, I can't in any circumstances. I can't do this. I can't sing. I can go there. I'm unable to attend this great webinar, even though I want to. I can't and I am unable puts you in a disempowering state of energy, disempowering state of being. And you might think, yes, Sonia, but I really don't. I mean, I really can't sing or I really can't join. Now, again, the first thing you want to do is to dissect the words and see what is the truth. And you first want to be truthful to yourself. Because I can't is usually not necessarily the truth, but we make a choice. We make a choice. So instead of saying, I can't join, I can't go to dinner tonight, I can't invest in this, I can't, whatever you are saying that you can't, choose for a moment internally to tell yourself the truth. I can. However, I don't want to right now, so I'm choosing not to. Do you feel the difference? I give you an example, a very simple example. Let's say you get invited to dinner, and it's a nice friend. You're not opposed to going out for dinner sometime, but you don't feel like going out for dinner for whatever reason. You don't even have to justify. How many times do we say, "Oh, sorry, I can't go out for dinner tonight," and with the best intentions? Now, the truth is you can go out for dinner, but you choose not to. And I understand that it might be challenging or difficult to say to your friend, you know what, I don't want to go out for dinner tonight, but thank you for inviting me, even though I think that's very kind and loving to do. So, first, you want to be honest with yourself, even if it takes some time to verbalize it outside. Instead of saying, I can't, you internally already say, yes, I can, but I choose not to. So that's first for me, just for yourself. And then the next step, of course, is to feel confident and honest and also kind enough to tell the truth towards yourself and someone else. And there are many different ways you can do that. But the first step is really to be aware of the words I can't and I am unable, and how often you actually use them. And you don't even notice. It's so unconscious. It's constantly. For those people who work with me and they want me to correct them, I am constantly correcting them. And even though they're working on it, because here's the truth, you don't know when you don't know, because when you say it, you are not aware that you're saying it, because otherwise you wouldn't say it and you would correct yourself. So again, whether you and I am correcting myself constantly, and I've been doing this for so long. However, I am pretty sure there's sometimes moments that I might use it, but I am not aware. And it happens to all of us. It's a training, it's a habit, it's a conscious choice you're making to be more aware and intentional about how you use language and the words. And of course, there's way more to say to this, but I want to keep it with I can't and I'm unable today. So what do you say instead? What do you say instead? So I give you a few examples. And again, as a reminder, first, you got to be honest with yourself first. It is okay if you don't feel confident or if you don't feel like you're ready yet to say this to another person, but at least you know you're in integrity, you are aware, and then you can choose to say something else. So instead of saying I can't, whatever it is, you say, I choose not to. And simply feel the energy for a moment. So the energy I can't energetically collapses you, it closes. I can't closes. This empowers, constrict. When you take a breath, even if you don't take a breath, if you say, I choose not to do this, you are empowered, you are expanded, and you're open. You don't collapse. You are not constricted. You are empowered instantly. And yes, I see a comment. I feel the need to explain. Yes, again, this has more layers to it. And you might get, and most likely get, to do some deeper inner work so that you feel good and safe and without the need to justify or explain. Because then you will feel guilty or that you're bad by saying no or something. So that's a different level that you get then to dig deeper. So thank you for bringing this up. For now, forget about explaining it. For now, forget about just justifying it. Only focus on the words and you take it one step at a time. Next time you hear yourself saying, I can't, You say, oh, pause for a moment. Okay. Is it true that I can't? Or do I not want to do it? Or am I choosing not to? Am I afraid of? Maybe I don't know how. And then you first do it internally. It's so much more empowering. So much more empowering. Okay, let me give you a few things so that you can write them down. Okay, you get to practice this. It takes inner work. It needs deeper, also exploration of what are the underlying. Lost my earbud. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. That was funny. Okay, so their underlying beliefs, their conditioning. You might be afraid of saying no. You might be afraid of being honest. You're simply not used to it because everybody's using it. Everybody's constantly saying it. Now you are here, and because you are here, you already made a decision to be more aware, to be more conscious, and that you are working on yourself. So you want to become your best self. So simply just because everybody else is saying it, you don't. You make a choice. Okay. Instead of saying I can't or I'm unable, you can say these terms. As simple to start with for yourself or others, I don't want to. Now that might be a really challenging one for many. However, at this point right now, it's more an acknowledgement and an admitting to yourself. I don't want to. Maybe you said yes to babysitting even though you didn't want to, but you felt guilty. I'm saying this because I had someone just sharing that with me. However, I can't, you can substitute it with I don't want to. You can substitute it with I choose to or I choose not to. Write this down, okay? Another way of saying is simply to say I won't. For example, are you going out for dancing tonight? Instead of saying, oh no, I can't go tonight, you say, no, tonight I won't, but you have fun. Simple, very simple. I'm not available is also one. And that's a good one to internalize first for yourself. Instead of saying, oh, I can't right away, you internally say, I'm not available for this. I don't want to do this. So I'm not available. Okay. And then you can even say that. And even though you might be available, you choose to keep your availability to yourself. Meaning, I'm not available because I want to spend time with myself. Another thing to substitute is because you might also think, yeah, Sonia, but I really can't do that. So besides of a few things, and the first thing that comes to mind for me is flying. It's like, yeah, Sonia, you're funny, but I can't fly. And again, this is not about the few exceptions. This is about daily life, you using words consciously, and that doesn't have to be 100%. There's always, moments where you choose it anyway. However, like if someone like I use instead of I can't, I don't know how to. Now here's the truth. I don't know how to fly. I don't even know if it's possible or not, but maybe it is possible, but I don't know how. So I'm not saying I can't, even though I really don't know how. I've trained I've trained myself to not use I can't, that it even feels difficult to say. Okay. Um, so let me ask you here in between, what is resonating with you? What is the most valuable substitution or aha moment that you might have? What's an insight you've gotten already out of it? And I'm going to repeat, give a little extras. And if you have a question, let me know now. And if you're not able to let me know now because you'll listen in later, leave me a message. If you have a specific question, or maybe you disagree with me, I want to know. Let me recap. Words are powerful. Energy, everything is energy. Words are powerful, words are energy, and the conscious use of language and your vocabulary and your words will make a huge difference on how you feel about yourself and how others perceive you as well. Meaning, if you are truthful to yourself, if you are honest and you use empowering words and language, it will reflect as well. Not that you're doing that necessarily to get a different result or to have people react a certain way. However, it does create more respect on the outside, and it creates also more safety because you have stronger boundaries. If you have a boundary issue, if you struggle with saying no or with being honest about certain things, then do some deeper inner work. You can do that with me, you can do that with your coach, with your mentor, with your healer, with a therapist, whoever you have. But then you do get to do some deeper inner work. And I have a question. That's a great question. So one takeaway is, or one favorite is, I choose not to. And the question is, what do you think of, I'm not interested in doing that? Yeah, that's great. If you're not interested, that's your honest truth. Like, hey, do you wanna jump out from a plane tonight or tomorrow? Or I don't know, I'm just coming up with something. And you say, truthfully, I'm not interested in that. That's fine. Absolutely. Again, I can't, I'm unable, and I'm repeating it so that you can really kind of ingrain that. And you will keep saying it because you won't notice. I have a very good friend. I know her for years and years and years and years. She's on her path. I've talked about this with her a lot. Now she's working on it. And she once said, if you hear me say this, please correct me. And every time I do, she says, oh my God, I can't believe, she says it again right away. I can't believe I did this again. I understand. I know it takes time. Be graceful, get support. Maybe you do this with a friend, share this with a friend, teach this to a friend, and support each other, call each other out. Not in a judgmental, teacher like wife, but it's like, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but right now you used it and you told me to remind you. So you just said you can't. Take a nice deep breath and tune in. What's your biggest takeaway? What are some of the notes you wrote down that are meaningful, that will make a difference for you? And share some of them with me and with others. And I'm going to give you a few other practical examples, just day-to-day stuff that you can say, okay? I said a few things already. I choose not to, I don't want to, I won't, or simply I don't, I'm not available, I'm not interested. Someone says here, Alyssa. I don't know how is a really good one if it's for yourself. Another way of saying no to someone that is inviting you, for example, that's just an example, but I think that's such a common one. That's such a common one, that someone asks you something or someone offers you something. And instead of saying no, thank you, that's the simplest way. Like, do you want to come? Can you come tonight? Can you help me? Can you do this? You could simply say, No, but thank you. Or no, maybe next time. So very simple. The other thing that you can say is, I already have plans, but thank you for inviting me. Now, your plans might simply be to stay at home. Your plans might be watching TV. I don't care what your plans are, but you have different plans that are more important. This is not a priority for you. And often when I hear, I can't sing, hey, do you want to go and do karaoke tonight? Oh, no, I can't sing. Yeah, of course you can. It might sound horrible, or maybe not. And you could then say, oh, no, I don't like singing because I don't feel comfortable, or it doesn't sound good to me, so I don't want to do it. I don't feel comfortable. Whatever it is, you as long as you can speak, and again there might be an exception that there's really physically uh, an injury or something that speaking or singing is not an option for you, but again this is the few occasions, and I'm not talking about those. But as long as you can speak, you can sing. As long as you can speak, you can sing. How it sounds is maybe maybe a different thing. Okay, so I'm going to leave it as here. I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to read some of your biggest takeaways because I find this is always very helpful. I have one question. Could you say I'm not available for that? Absolutely. Yeah, why not? So, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not available. I'm often not available. um, Here, one of the biggest takeaways: to be honest with myself, and I choose not to. Great takeaway. The being honest with yourself first is so important. Don't put yourself under pressure that you get to have this nailed down right away overnight, because it's not as simple, because there are underlying issues that you might want to work on. Great takeaway. Another takeaway: not to say can't, and be aware of how much I use it and turn it around with honest statements. Beautiful. Very good takeaway. Another one: big help for telling myself I want to spend time with myself. Yeah. And you can say that. That might be a little bit more advanced for someone. It's like, I really appreciate the offer. I want to spend time with myself today. I don't want to go on a walk with you today because I want to be alone. Doesn't mean I don't like you. It doesn't mean I'm not going to walk with you another time. It means I needed some time for myself. Super. Telling yourself the truth. And one last takeaway. My takeaway is how ingrained it is to automatically say, I can't. So true. How unaware we are that we are saying it. Yes, 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 yes. And you will pay more attention today. You will hear it now all the time. I can't here, I can't there, out of your own mouth and out of other people's. Be aware. Awareness, consciousness, intentionality, and you make a choice. And then practice, practice, practice without judgment, without pressure. Love yourself through this process. What a wonderful thing to learn. What a wonderful thing to create empowerment so quickly. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you. Ooh, I nearly forgot. I am not going to be live next Monday. I will send you still something. But for once, I'm not gonna be live, not because I can't, because I choose not to. Because I'm actually going to travel and I'm going to take a whole week off. I want to completely unplug. I have nothing on my calendar. Going to do a retreat in Costa Rica if everything goes well. So I'm going to replenish my body, mind, and soul. I don't want anything in my calendar. So even though I'm not going to be live here for you, I will do something for you because I never leave you hanging. So check it out next Monday anyway, but I am not going to be live. Again, thank you so much for being here today, for listen, learn, grow. Means the world to me. I appreciate you. I love you. Have a wonderful day. And as much as you can today, erase I can't and I am unable from your vocabulary, and you will feel more empowered instantly. Much love.